Happy Women's History Month.
What's one piece of advice you would give to women trying to break into the field of law?
I think in general, for someone who's interested in law or going to law school, you want to know at least basically what you want to get into, what field of law, what kind of future you're looking at, whether you're looking at a smaller firm, corporate, whether it's employment law, litigation, transactional, because that will really help you define who you are throughout law school and help you create the resume that you want. So if you have that future goal of being this defense attorney, then you'll take all the necessary classes, the steps, the internships to get to that point. And that's important specifically in law school because it's so hard to kind of like stay in the game and remain motivated because it's just hard in general. So if you remember like what your dream was and what your motivation and your goal is, then that could really keep you on track through the 3 years and to reach your ultimate goal.
I would say that she should study really hard and be open to explore various fields of law. Because in the beginning, I didn't want to become a litigator. I first wanted to practice maritime law, which is more transactional. So I feel so blessed that I joined PN and I had the opportunity to explore various fields of law. So I think that women should be strong and dare to take more challenges.
I think it's really important to build relationships and friendships and mentors and peers along the way, because you don't realize how much they help you in the end, whether it's just asking a question at work or looking for a new job or for an internship. I think those relationships you make from the first day of law school are the most important.
I think it's important to research and think about what you really want and think about the steps to take you to where you want to end up. I also think it's important to ask for what you want. There are a lot of people that aren't afraid to ask for what they want, and those people will get it ahead of you. And I also think it's important just to not give up on your dreams and your goals. Law school could be difficult. Working could be difficult, but if it's something that you're interested in, you should keep at it.
Why do you think it's important for women to be in the field of law?
The law affects everyone, so we need to be represented and be in the background and helping to make those rules and have a seat at the table.
Something else is that women just have a different perspective in general. And so that perspective could really help resolve issues maybe in a more creative or different way than other people would think of or perceive it. So that's something important as well that we can add to the world of law.
I guess I also think it's important for women's voices to be heard. So I think that when there are female lawyers, there's more of a chance that they could advocate for other women. So I think that's important.
I don't see any reason why women should not be practicing law. I think that they are very capable of representing their clients. And of course, they can be more creative and offer another perspective to the litigation. There is no reason to explain why women should be in law. They should be because they just want to be in law.
What keeps you motivated in your work life or personal life?
Being an attorney, you have the opportunity to help people. So I think that even though things might be difficult, that you have to remember that people do trust you with their sensitive problems or things that may be going on in their life. So I think that it's important to remember that you do have the job to help people. So I think that's something that's been motivating me during this time.
During this time specifically, kind of building off of what Gianna said, a lot of our friends and family have faced a ton of different issues that normally maybe they wouldn't face or wouldn't come up. So it's motivated me to ask friends and do research and want to help them, even if it's an area of law that I am not super familiar with.
For me, it's all about reputation. I try to make sure that I'm not only a good attorney to my clients, but also a good person and a fair person, reasonable, because that's what kind of takes me from one transaction to the next. A big thing that you realize is that you come across like the same attorney or the same clients over again. And that's, it's really telling how you are just human to human on how you're going to be on a certain matter. And so I always make sure that I am the person that people know what they're getting, and so that the attorney who I am working with for the second or third time is inclined to be more cooperative with me or is excited to work with me, as opposed to, being nervous or not looking forward to it, because they know that I'm easy to work with, easy to talk to, with my clients, but also with people. And then that's kind of how I live life. Like you get older and you realize that like you are who you are. And if people like it, people like it. And if they don't like it, then, they'll talk to someone who does like you, who will speak up for you. But it's just important to like remain true to yourself in your personal life and your professional life.
I think that in these difficult times, you should see the big picture and make sure you follow your personal evaluation goals. And when you're in the litigation side, even if the time is difficult, you have to keep going with the case, you have to appear before the judge, you have to file the motion, you have to communicate with the opposing counsel. So you don't really have the time to think about what's going around. And I think that work helped me cope with isolation and endless quarantine during these times. Like it's almost a year now. I think that work itself kept me motivated in every aspect of my life. Otherwise, I don't know, I would feel very depressed, and hopefully I kept myself busy, and somehow I managed to cope.
What hardships have you faced as a woman in the field of law?
I'll jump at this just because I just recently had a situation that really hit me hard. In commercial transactions specifically, it's really male dominated. And I have recently seen a different tone that people take with me, or maybe they don't want to deal with me. And that's, first of all, it's hurtful, unfair, and so inaccurate. I like pride myself on like clear communication, and I do that without any like fluff or extra conversation, because I want people to take me seriously. And so if someone doesn't take me seriously because I'm a female, like that's really, really degrading. I mean, I got like a nasty email from an attorney the other day that was like a little bit anti-feminist, and I was not into it. So it exists in this occupation, I guess.
When I was first starting, I just assumed when people spoke down to me or went above me, it's because they thought I was new or unexperienced. And now that I am experienced and have been doing this for a while, you do realize it's not because of that. You're definitely like experienced enough to do it. It's just because we are women. And it kind of surprises me every time, and it shouldn't, but it does.
I guess there could be hardships, but they're probably just distractions, and I just ignore them. They don't really bother me.
We're also very lucky because we're at a firm with a lot of women. It's a very woman heavy firm, and we're in a very unique spot. Not many firms are like that.
Right. And we stand by each other. And that's the most important thing here, that bosses believe in us, we believe in ourselves, and we have each other to throw ideas against and have discussions with, and just kind of like unload whatever you're feeling. And that's kind of important because women do have feelings, and we actually recognize them, we actually deal with them, and that makes us stronger than anyone else.
I agree.
Well, I have a different perspective. So I think that if they want to intimidate women because they're women, this means that these women intimidate them.
Yeah.
For example, an experienced attorney before the judge, if a woman manages to have more successful arguments, he will definitely feel intimidated, especially if the particular female is younger or, I don't know, even good looking. This is how intimidate them. And I feel that women have to be strong, not because they do something wrong, but they should be strong and preserve their position and their empowerment and keep intimidate them without the fear of being intimidated by them. I feel that this is a power. If it's like they feel intimidated, so it's like a reaction. This is because we do something really well.
Mm-hmm.
If what I said makes sense,
Yeah.
actually, what I want to say is that there are many capable women, very strong women, and this might be a threat for some people who don't have the same skills, or, you know, they don't have a good case, and, you know, they follow different tactics to just make you feel bad or weak.
Any parting words of wisdom or topics to touch on?
Maybe you're just beginning to like think about this or deal with this, but you know, I have a family and I'm the only female attorney that has a family. And when I was in law school, I always had this perception that it was going to be really difficult to have a family and have this law career, you know, whether successful, not successful, whatever it is. I think for me, the biggest blessing was to be at this firm because our bosses, out of everyone, like fully understand the work-life balance and they're just understanding in general. So that's like really a blessing. But also, you know, they always say like, God doesn't give you what you can't deal with or you can't handle. And if you want something and you know, want to continue working or you have a certain goal to reach, like you will do it and you will find a way to do it. And there was a time where I really, really struggled with work-life balance, especially coming back to work after my second kid. But I'm finally like feeling 10 times more confident in myself now than I did when I started working or when I, you know, wasn't with a kid, because I know that I can do it all at once and I can do it well. And I've said this before on one of our forums or something, but like I know when to put life for life and work for work. And when work needs attention, that's what's going to get attention. And when it's time for, you know, life and my kids, then that's what gets attention. And something to remember is exactly what we've been saying, that, you know, there you always have someone to look up to because there is a woman that has broken that glass ceiling and there is someone who has done this before you at this point. And so, you know, you could definitely do it.
Hashtag choose a challenge. Don't give up on your dreams, even if they're difficult.
Hashtag choose to challenge equal rights.
I hashtag choose to challenge the gender pay gap.
I hashtag challenge more women as partners in law firms.